Hi everybody. I want to make a video today based off of basically an inspiration I had from watching a video of Steve Kortyka. Steve Kortyka had posted a video of himself playing a solo with a band. He was playing It Had to Be You. Now, I'm going to tell you right at this point, you should stop watching this video and go watch his video. It is a fantastic solo. It is, I told him, it's a masterclass in how to play a solo over a standard. It is fantastic. But I wanted to draw a couple things out of that solo. So please go listen to it. It's he posted it yesterday, which would have been Sunday. But after you listen to it, maybe come back and you can watch this video. But I want to point out a few things that he did that are so impactful and should be kind of at the forefront of all of our minds. It was a great reminder to me. I mean, he said nothing. Steve said nothing, and he played everything. So like, words don't matter, actions do, kind of the idea. And that solo was an actionable lesson through his playing. So what do I mean? Okay, he played this solo and It Had to Be You, and it was so incredibly appropriate for the genre of music, first off, but for the audience that he was playing to, the band that he was playing in, everything was appropriate. So as you approach a standard, some of the lessons that I drew out of it, some of the things that were so important is use of the melody within a solo. Steve would he quoted the melody a little bit in there, super important. And then, he played over the changes some, which was great. But this last one, I have them on the board, this last one here, he played the blues over a standard, some blues lines. Now, did he put a 12-bar blues into It Had to Be You? No, that's not what I'm talking about. He used blues sounding lines based out of like the blues scale and maybe the extension using the 6 kind of stuff I talked about in another video last week. But he used it all and wove it in perfectly in the solo. So I want to try to do an example for you on this and use some things here. Melody with embellishments, changes, and then utilize the blues. And I'm going to utilize some blues sounds over a tune on the Sunny Side of the Street. Now, full disclosure, I normally do Sunny Side of the Street in concert E flat because F for me, I love that key. But I'm doing it in concert C. So it's going to be D for me because that's what the backing track is. And again, full disclosure, I'm not a big fan of playing in this key. I don't know why. Certain keys players like, other keys they don't. I don't necessarily like playing in my D. So, but whatever. I'm gonna try to do this. I'll play a couple of choruses and mix and match with this stuff, but melody with embellishments, play the changes, but then play some blues. Here we go. has some blues in here. All right, so there's the example. Again, I played a lot of notes on that second chorus. I played a lot in the changes. But that third chorus, I tried to maybe slow things down, make stuff a little bit not as notey, and just use the blues. Now, the beautiful thing about Steve's solo, when he did it, he had an arc to the solo. He really took the listener, even if it's a short thing, it's like only a minute and a half or so, took the listener on a journey, engaged the audience. Now, do you know when he engaged the audience the most, probably, and even the band, was when he went here. Played some great blues lines in there. And by the way, playing over the changes, he killed it. It sounded so great. But really, if you listen to that solo, the appropriateness for the genre, the use of melody with embellishments, space. I mean, I used almost no space on that second chorus, by the way. I'm just playing over the changes. But he used space, and he used these blues lines, engaging the band too. Like when you start to play blues lines, that's like meat on a bone for drummers and rhythm section players. Like they love that type of call and response thing. Drummers like, oh man, I'm all over that. So all of these ideas would be a way for you to approach a solo in a standard. Not just thinking, I've got all of these harmonic devices, I'm gonna throw half-step 2/5s, I'm gonna throw tritone subs in there, I'm gonna do all this kind of crazy stuff. Well, maybe, but don't throw out the melody and don't throw out the blues. This is huge. When you go back and listen to the masters, they all played the blues. They all did. And it's probably the most relatable thing for an audience and is going to give the most interaction with an audience and probably a lot of interaction with the band too. I don't necessarily want to say this, but I want to say this. Very few people in the audience care about how intricate your harmonic devices are when you play. Most people that come and hear you play, unless they're musicians, care about how it makes them feel. And this is a great way, playing the blues within standards, melody with embellishments. People can appreciate your technical virtuosity if you have that. But this right here, this gets to the heart, like being able to embellish a melody and being able to make a statement, a blues statement, because everyone can relate to that. All right, again, if you get nothing else out of this, please go check out Steve Kortyka's solo. Totally worthwhile. All right, hope it helps.